Welcome back to this series of executive chats on light reading. It's Terry Sweeney, contributing editor. I'm joined now by Abhay Kulkarni, Vice President and General Manager of Cisco's Webex Business Unit. Abhay, thanks so much for joining us today.
It's my pleasure, Terry. Thanks for having me.
The WebexOne conference is just around the corner. Will be held entirely online, which is both appropriate and practical in these times we're in, but also for collaborative technology. What can attendees expect, and what should they be able to walk away from the conference with?
Absolutely, Terry. WebexOne is a premier event, and we are extremely excited about what we have in store. One of the things that anybody who comes to WebexOne can walk away with is that it is the definition of Cisco, and our purpose is to bring an inclusive future for everybody who participates in online collaboration. And the kind of things that we are doing to level the playing field, so to speak, so that everyone is able to participate in online collaboration, regardless of their geography, their language preference, where they're located, and their environments and backgrounds. So, we are really driven by that big purpose. And we also want to make sure that we deliver online collaboration in this world of COVID and the pandemic. Online collaboration experience with WebEx are 10 times better than in-person interactions. So those are the two key things that I think most attendees can walk away with when they attend WebexOne next week.
Well, let's talk more about that. I see you've got lots of customers presenting at WebexOne. Talk a little bit about where customer feedback has fed into the innovations with WebEx in its last few versions.
Yeah, that's a great question, Terry. Especially after the pandemic began, the video conference, which was suddenly became a key part, like people call it the priority zero mission critical application for their enterprises. Right, without video conferencing, they can't do their job anymore because we all have the ability to or need to meet. And one of the things that our customers told us, and that is part of some of the innovation that we did, was, hey, my employees, I can't predict where they're joining a meeting from, and help me or help them be as productive as they can be in these type of setups. One of the common feedback we got, for example, was background noise. You're in a meeting. I'm right next to a window, and if there's a leaf blower going on outside my window, it's just annoyance, and it makes for a very unproductive meeting when suddenly somebody is starting to submit noise. So,
Sure.
can we do some amazing noise removal technology where virtual collaboration can be very productive? So we actually worked on that, and that led to our acquisition of Babel Labs. And those are things that we have been feeding into the product portfolio.
Thanks for that. It seems clear that customer expectations have also changed in the age of COVID. The work from home culture is now the dominant work model, and I'm wondering what that does in terms of customer expectations in the age of COVID with collaborative tools. Can you speak a bit to that?
Yes. One of the things that most customers are expecting from collaborative tools is, how can I get my job done? How can my people be as productive or even more productive in this virtual collaboration scenarios? And those include things like the ability to conduct a meeting, but also when you do a meeting, is the meeting productive? A lot of people, a lot of times, customers used to measure effectiveness of collaboration by just measuring the number of minutes people participated in a video collaboration experience. However, we found out that that is really not a good measure of collaboration and the effectiveness of collaboration. And what you really want is a productive meeting, a meeting that leads to fewer meetings, not meeting that leads to more meetings. And to assist with that, WebEx had what we call the industry's first virtual meeting assistant, where there is an assistant that runs in the meeting, that takes notes, that takes action items as we are speaking, And those notes and action items can be collaboratively worked upon asynchronously. So you don't need a synchronous video collaboration to work on it. And that really fosters, like, people now get time to do work rather than be in back-to-back video meetings, which, as we know, it just exhausts people and creates video fatigue. So people have been expecting us to really help and empower them, empower their users with these offline asynchronous ways of collaborating, in addition to improving video collaboration technologies.
Security is always top of mind for IT and communications professionals. Apart from using online passwords, excuse me, what else can users do to protect themselves against breaches, intruders, or worse things happening during their collaborative sessions?
Yeah, this is a great question and top of mind for almost every single person who is conducting online collaboration these days. One of the things that people have top of mind is the fact that you want to keep unwanted participants out of a meeting. And having a password on a meeting goes a long way in doing that, but that may not be necessary and sufficient. So, we want people to use all the features, lobby features, the fact that WebEx has a way for a host to see who's in the meeting before they admit them in the meeting, verify their identity, and make sure that they are the right person that should be joining a meeting. So we encourage users to do that. We also have the industry's first end-to-end encryption in meetings. We released that several years ago. We constantly keep on improving that as well. So for your super secure meetings, we encourage users to use our end-to-end encryption feature. And even if you're not using the end-to-end encryption feature, our meetings have strong encryption. So, if you look at from a securing your online collaboration perspective, you need to look at both how you can authenticate a user that is joining a meeting, make sure that they have the right identity, and WebEx is verifying the identity of the user before they join. Distinguish between internal and external collaborators, so you can the host can clearly see if the external person is joining a meeting or not. And then obviously encryption, which goes in when a collaborative meeting is in progress, so that users can feel confident that whatever they are saying and speaking is staying between them, and no intruders can listen or hear to what they're saying. So those are, I think, top of mind for most customers.
Good stuff. Some great context on both online collaboration as well as a great preview of the WebexOne conference. Abhay, thanks for joining us today. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Terry. My pleasure.
We've been talking with Abhay Kulkarni of Cisco. This has been Terry Sweeney for Light Reading. Thank you for joining us today.